Jazz battled after a flame-on start from Jordan Clarkson, but at the end, somehow it became a blowout, and I'm still not entirely sure how. We're finding out next on Postcast.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
David Locke, along with Ron Boone, your Utah Jazz radio broadcast team, bringing you Postcast live after each and every Utah Jazz game here on Locked On Jazz, both on YouTube and on all your audio feeds. Thank you very much for joining us from the Intuit Dome, where the LA Clippers have defeated the Utah Jazz 130-110, a game that was really much closer than that. Jazz started early after Jordan Clarkson flamed on early at 14 in the first quarter of this ballgame. Jazz led by 1 at the end of one, actually led 23-11 at one point. At the half, the Clippers were up 2. Then late in the third quarter, the Clippers got it going a little bit. They went on a 15-6 run to take their largest lead of 10 right before the close of the quarter. Led by 8 going into the fourth quarter. The Jazz, by that point, had suddenly had 17 turnovers. And then the Jazz opened the fourth quarter playing their 5 youngest players. Isaiah Collier, Kyle Filipowski, Cody Williams started the quarter together with Keontae George and Bryce Sensabaugh. It was the first time those 5 have been on the floor all year. I don't know if that set the tone, but the Clippers shot 14 of 17 in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Jazz 36-24, and in the final 5 minutes just blew this one out.
Blew it out, and picking on young players. That's what they were able to do. They got what they needed, and that was without Zubac on the floor. I mean, when they needed some points, they ran the pick and roll with Harden, get Zubac at the rim, and that was it. But otherwise, the young guys just couldn't handle the experience of the Clippers.
Some interesting X's and O's to this game. The Jazz wanted to try to take away James Harden's passing. They were not able to do that, as James Harden finished with 17 assists tonight. But what it led to was they were switching everything defensively, and also without Walker Kessler, you don't have any rim protection, so you really kind of have to switch. If you had played drop tonight, you would have gotten destroyed with the personnel they had, without Walker, without John Collins, without Lauri Markkanen, without Colin Sexton. So you can't really play drop coverage on the pick and roll. So your really only choice tonight was either trap or switch. The Jazz didn't want to trap because they didn't want to open the passing lanes for Harden. Harden's genius is on those switches. He took advantage of both driving by guys like Potter and Filipowski when they were guarding him, but also getting Zubac down low on those switches, and Zubac finished the night 13 of 16 shooting, and that was one of the biggest recipient of the 17 assists tonight.
Yeah, they just continued to put guards in the pick and roll. You know, that was the bottom line. And Zubac is so good and has the size, the weight to keep the guard behind him. It didn't matter. If they can get him the basketball up top, and he just scored at the rim. So that was an easy night there. And I would imagine, I'd like to see how many of those assists, 17 assists, came just by getting Zubac the ball right there at the rim.
That's funny, Ron. I can tell you these things. Yeah. James Harden tonight had 17 assists. 9 of them went to Zubac. 3 of them went to Coffee. And 4 of the assists overall tonight were threes. The rest were all in the paint for baskets. Yes. So Harden, 17 assists tonight, 13 on twos, 4 of them on threes for 38 points. On assists plus 23 points. So he added for 61 Clipper points tonight. Don't tell Thurl, but he looked like an all-star tonight. Thurl and I got in. Well, I don't know. We didn't really get into it.
But the thing is, they just took advantage of the advantage that they had. And it makes sense as a coach. I mean, you don't want to lose a basketball game to the Jazz when you're supposed to be one of the better teams in the Western Conference. Hasn't showed that, but they took advantage of the advantage that they had.
One of the interesting notes to me tonight, and I don't think it finishes this way, I'll check it, but as we finish the third quarter tonight, the Jazz are down 8. And Isaiah Collier is plus 14 on the night. He turns out to go minus 13 in the fourth quarter, so his plus-minus doesn't look as good. But let's stop the game there for a second. Through 3 quarters tonight, Isaiah Collier, I believe, was plus 14. I think that's right. I'll have to double-check it because it's written in the wrong side of my score sheet. But I think if you found a third-quarter box anywhere, I don't know if you got one tonight, if you have a third-quarter box around anywhere, I think Ron Boone's going to double check this for me. That's third quarter only. This is really exciting.
You want the third quarter.
Third quarter overall.
Okay.
Right here. Isaiah Collier was +8, so I was a little off. I'm glad I double-checked that. But still, he's +8. The Jazz are down 8. So they were -16 through 3 quarters when he was off the floor, +8 when he's on. To me, that seems like a pretty good night for Isaiah Collier.
It was a very good night for him, even though, he didn't put up any points or anything like that, didn't score a lot of points, but he ended up with 5 points in just under 30 minutes, 1 field goal. But still, point guards, if they're running a basketball team, they're setting guys up, they're making things happen out there on the floor, points doesn't matter, a lot of times. And you're absolutely right. I think he got the job done.
Some of it might be a little overplayed, frankly, with the fact that he got the benefactor of Jordan Clarkson's flame on to start the game when Jordan hits all those threes and makes all those shots and puts the Jazz up by that early run early.
But I'm not so sure that those passes came from.
Okay.
I mean, those are he was just going one-on-one,
right.
and letting it fly. We can check that first quarter and see.
I mean, Jordan got him going. They led it 24-11 because of that. We'll talk about that when we continue. Today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you save. Thanks to Dash Pash. Every time a player drops 50 or more in a game, you score huge deal the next day. It's simple. When any player scores 50 or more in a game during the 24-25 NBA regular season, Dash Pash members get 50% off an order up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Here, get all sorts of game day feasts for an epic $50 performance. Celebrate by ordering wings, pizza, burger, or it could be late night cravings if you're staying up or if you just called a game and you need some DoorDash and there's nothing available in Beverly Hills. Then you go DoorDash it tonight. Lunch on the go. Need a quick, easy lunch? That might be it as well. Sign up with Dash Pass and be ready to save when any player scores 50 or more in a game. Dash Pass members get 50% off the order the next day, up to $10. Just use the promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game. Eligible orders and participating merchants must have active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. DoorDash, noon to midnight after the game on that day. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59 is here. Make sure you enjoy all the fun of it. The game tips off also in the NBA. Get started with FanDuel. Place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip or the opening kick and you want to be a part of a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. If you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine live bets into same-game parlays. FanDuel's live betting feature gives you every moment of the game, making it exciting. Have fun with it tomorrow at FanDuel. Right now, new customers on FanDuel get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59 and the NBA. Jordan Clarkson's early flame on. What'd you see there, Ron Boone?
Well, what I did see was Jordan Clarkson just came out and said, I'm shooting every time I touch the ball. And he got hot. He made some buckets. Incidentally, Collier had 3 assists in their first quarter. Not sure how many of those went to Jordan Clarkson, but it was Jordan Clarkson's quarter for the most part. I mean, he just got it going. And the types of shots that he was shooting, you cringe, oh, that's not a good shot, but they were going in.
I was most interested tonight in Kyle Filipowski going up against Zubac, who physically could outman him. Kyle hasn't played against a lot of guys who are going to physically outman him. My take, I'll go first. I don't mean to always put you on the spot, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was fine. I thought he could get humiliated tonight, and I don't think he got humiliated. And frankly, I didn't expect him to match Zubac or be able to guard Harden in space. Those are two things I think are too hard for him. But I thought he was fine out there. I thought he made a bunch of nice passes to Keontae. He hit a 3 on the defensive end. I thought he battled. He had a few rebounds. He actually rim protected once or twice. I thought he was fine. I was generally thought it was a good learning experience for Kyle Filipowski tonight. What's your thought?
I totally agree. And I got him as one of my reality squares here tonight. And he just got overmatched with size and weight experience. More so experience than anything else, and by Zubac. you learn from it. But I have him as one of my reliability squares tonight.
Before we wrap up and go to reliabilities, pluses, and squares tonight, I want your thoughts on Monday. Luka Dončić, Utah Jazz, LA Lakers, the scene in LA, what we get to see, what will be a lot of interest in that one on Monday.
This is what's interesting to me, because so much criticism about both of those guys. I'm talking about LeBron and Luka. Both of them need the basketball. Both of them play with the basketball with their hands quite a bit. I think more so LeBron can adjust to Luka handling the basketball than Luka playing off the ball with LeBron handling the ball. And I say that because I've been watching carefully with LeBron moving without the basketball, in transition, back cutting, every now and then. But I just think that they will be just fine. I don't think that LeBron has an ego enough that he's not going to want to, you know what I mean? It's not just going to be that LeBron's going to defer, but he's also going to let Luka do his thing.
He also knows he's 40.
Yeah.
Like, he's not lost to the fact he's 40. I'm sure his body hurts like all get out half these nights. And he knows that this guy's coming in here and he can take a burden off him. Like, here's the way I look at it. This one's like, I'm going to use this building as an example. Two of the evidently smartest guys in the world, Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, got together. It turned out all right.
Yeah.
Two of the smartest guys in the world got together, Sergey and whoever else at Google. It turned out all right. These are two of the smartest basketball players, if not the two smartest basketball players in the world. They're going to be fine.
They will be just fine.
I think it's one of the most ridiculous concepts that they somehow aren't going to be able to play together. First of all, LeBron's done it before with Dwayne Wade, and Luka's done it with Kyrie, and it worked out fine for both of them then, too.
Yeah. A lot younger, and I think LeBron's experience, and he realizes.
Their only problem is they don't have a center.
Yes, they don't have
because Mark Williams was sent back to Charlotte today, and they're left with Jack